What gave you the freedom to kind of go in all these places, like, play Celtic tunes on a 5-string banjo, play old time tunes, 3-finger style, without
Well,
being boxed in the traditional?
first of all, I need to feel, I need to be emotionally involved in whatever type of music I'm trying to emulate or trying to immerse myself in. And I remember someone gave me a tape of some Irish music, and I think it was one side of the tape was Didana, and the other side was the Bothy band. I was probably a teenager at the time, and I just loved it. I sat down and worked out a couple of the tunes, but I didn't want it to just sound like I'm a bluegrass player picking these tunes like bluegrass. Um, so I got into it and I tried to emulate what I was hearing, either latching on to what ornaments the fiddle player was doing, or the banjo player, or the uilleann pipes. Um, and the more I got into it, the deeper I went. And I think part of it is Irish music, Celtic music. It's just got such a strong melodic thing going on. It's so tried and true, and I wanted to be just as tried and true as that. I wanted to pay it justice. And so what I would do is sit with Bothy band recordings, Didanin, whoever I was moved by, and I'd work out my way of doing it, and I'd play it over and over and over. The same way I approached getting a bluegrass feel, sitting with Earl Scruggs recordings and J.D. Crowe recordings and whoever I was really into, and just, like with that music, it's all about the right hand and just making sure you can dig in with some drive and tone and
Hmm.
pull out the melody. Well, it's the same thing with Irish music. You want to pull out the melody and have just, it's got all this forward momentum.
Hmm.
So eventually, what I did was I discovered some Irish jam sessions with really great players, and I would take these tunes. And first, whenever I'd
And where
pop
were you
into
at the
it,
time?
this is the Bay Area.
You're
There was a
okay.
session at the uh, Plow and the Stars in San Francisco that a buddy talked me into coming down. And, one thing I would run into at different sessions was people would see the fifth string peg on my banjo and they'd be like, "Ugh, it's going to be a bluegrass
Hmm.
guy." And so I would make sure to wait a little while and then eventually start off a set of tunes that I felt solid on, and
Hmm.
guide the session on those few tunes, and just kind of, pay my respect and say, "Look, I understand. I may not know all the tunes yet or ever, but I respect it enough to play it with the same punch and drive that I'm hearing you guys play. I'm listening." And
Hmm.
I think the more I did it, the more it changed my actual playing too, because I noticed some things happening on my right hand the more I played those tunes. And the same thing with old time mountain music. I love and respect that style of music so much that when I approach picking those tunes with players that know the genre, I do my best to fit my playing inside of what they're doing, and the
Hmm.
result is that I think it affects my playing. Does this make sense? It's
Yeah,
like
it's
I
right down
think,
the path I was going.
yeah, I think it shapes how I approach playing the tune just by immersing myself in it. You gotta be a listener though. You gotta use your
Hmm.
ears. I mean, there's so many times you hear other players jumping in to play other kinds of music. They're not listening to what's going on. They're just saying, "Okay, this is me. I'm gonna plunk myself into this music, and this is how I
Right.
play." But that's not the way music should be. You should be enveloped in it, and you should be responsive to what you're hearing.